guys.
Hey guys, this is Jason Nedved with Nedved Precision Shooting. We are on our way back from Montana. We just shot the Pro Series Championship. That was great. Watch that video. But on top of that, I got a phone call from an old timer named Kenny. A few of you guys know him. He called me up, was talking about this hunter style match for 22s. And I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, sounds fun. He's like, well, you want to shoot it with me? I'm like, I guess we could. He's like, I think we could win it. And I'm like, I'm sure we could. It was the day after at the same range as Pro Series Championship. So I decided, yeah, let's shoot it. So then I had to convince you, because you were going to ride with us, so I didn't want you just sitting there twiddling your thumbs to shoot it. So we found you a partner to shoot it with, but then that partner had to get home. So then there's another shooter.
Me.
Yeah. Well, she's also riding with us.
She invited herself, though.
Yeah, she did.
No, Shane
The match director invited her, and then the match director informed me that she was coming, so that's the way that went. So then she was riding with us, and then your teammate was like, hey, I gotta head back. So then she's like, well, I can shoot it, you know. You've at least seen
a
hunter style-ish match. You know, that was a team sniper challenge, so you had the team aspect, you kind of understood it. You have not.
No.
So she was nervous this morning. How are you?
I was fine, but I didn't know what to expect.
Oh, okay.
Like, they tell you, oh yeah, you're gonna go, he's gonna debrief you, and you gotta go find targets. Well, that doesn't really help me out. Like,
But was it like that?
well, it was like that. That's a terrible description, you know?
Well, and I got
Sounds very accurate.
It's very accurate, but a horrible description.
And knowing what you guys went through for the Vortex Team Sniper Challenge,
Yeah.
that's the only bit of information I had to go off of as far as what this, you know, match was going to be about. And you guys were hardcore writing notes, and it was this whole thing. And so I was nervous because I thought it was going to be this whole thing. And yeah,
It's cool, though.
it was.
Super cool.
You did say right away when we got in the truck, you said you would travel for that kind of match.
And match, not that the Pro Series individual championship wasn't great, because it was.
It was good.
I would travel further for that NRL hunter style match
Yep.
than I would an individual match.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And it wasn't NRL Hunter per se, because it was a team match. NRL Hunter you can shoot with personal or team. But this one was more complicated because the same match director that did the Pro Series did this. So it was that weird shooter 1 will shoot this target, then this target, then shooter B will shoot this target, then this target, then shooter 2 will shoot this target and this target, and then shooter 1 will shoot that target and that target. With your weird round counts of 3s and 2s and not your
Threes and twos,
typical.
and
Yeah.
She engages with 3 and I engage with 2 and then move back. And yeah, it was,
So for this one, we don't have a match book because it was just told to us when we were going there and we were booking it. So with this one, it was timed. So you had to, it was supposed to be every 15 minutes, but we had ROs cancel on them, and so we started a little late, a lot late, but it was fine. We were there, we're just there to shoot. So we get there, and it's supposed to be every 15 minutes a team goes. And if you get caught, you have to stop and let that team pass you, which you guys got to experience. And for us, our goal was to try to catch the next team for Kenny and I. Well, Kenny is 61 that we found out on Tanner's prank that we missed out on. Did you hear about that?
No, I missed out on this.
So, okay, back to the Pro Series Championship when they're reading off trophies and all that stuff, and they asked all the seniors to stand up. Well, they're seniors. They can't really hear you.
Especially Kenny.
Right?
He already took out his hearing aids. He's checked out for the night, right? He's past bedtime. So we're sitting at the table, and our table's filling up with trophies, and they ask the seniors to stand up, and he's like, what? And Tanner's like, stand up. And he's like, what? Stand up. They want to know how old the seniors are. Oh, so he stands up and goes, 61. And everybody's looking at him like, huh? So Kenny wants to
Oh
get
my
back at
gosh.
Tanner for something.
Tanner, watch your back.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm trying to run and gun with this 61-year-old that called me up and said, hey, let's do this. So it was like, all right, let's go. And he says, don't wait for me, I'll get there. And so I asked the match director, do I have to wait for him? Or do we need to be, because some matches you have to be within arm's length. You gotta be able to, hey, and you guys gotta be able to clap hands. So there's different style matches, and there's other matches you have to be within eyesight.
Sure.
So if I go around this bend or down this hill, I have to wait at the top for that other person because I have to be in eyesight. So there's different styles going on. Here, I asked the match director because Kenny told me just leave him. He'll get there eventually. So I asked the match director, is that allowed? He said yes. So I was going. I asked Kenny, all right? Yep. And so our plan was we'd go first stage, you know, get your stage brief, whatever. And then after we were done, I'd pack up, and he said, just take off, get the stage brief. As soon as I get there, we can start. Because this was a timed event, and you get points per your par time or your score. I don't know how it works as points, but you had 2 hours to complete the whole match. And then any time underneath that, I'm assuming is the points.
Bonus of some kind, yeah.
Okay.
So if you finish it in 1 hour and 45 minutes and you get whatever that 15 minutes equates to in bonus.
Yeah. However, yeah.
Whatever.
Sounds about
whatever
right.
that is.
So it was, you wanted to go. And then each stage was also timed. So, what, 5 minutes on those?
Seven.
We timed out with 7 minutes on stages. Holy cow.
Yeah.
So, any other definitions that we need to cover? It was with 22s, team match, 7 minutes.
Your target's over there from these positions. Go.
You got a little stake and it's kind of angled in a way, and that's where your targets are.
Pretty
What was
much.
the furthest target we had? 200, 202? That
It was
coyote?
200 and something. Yeah. It was the far coyote.
Yeah.
Up in the cut.
Yeah. So 202, that was the furthest one, so it wasn't bad. I heard last year they had targets at like 300. I don't know how you accurately confirm you had an impact at that, so I don't know. But yeah, let's get into it. So we get there. They're falling behind, so we're messing with their gear. You guys got random draw, you're first up. Or second up.
Second, yeah.
How'd the gear prep go?
Panic mode.
From carrying around
we got
medium, heavy filled,
Yeah.
pint size heavy filled, tripod caddy, all the ammo in the world.
Well, yeah, I mean, you guys gave me the same description as the ROs. It's like, oh, you gotta do this, so you don't tell me much. It's like, okay, so me and Ariana are in back of the truck. It's like, if we don't need it, we're lightening it up.
Yeah.
So we just started stripping everything, you know. In my backpack, the other day before we left, I was looking at that, and it's got these straps on the side of it. They're always in the way. I literally considered cutting them off. Like 20 minutes before we decided to go, I was just looking at them and I decided, hey, that'd be a cool spot to put my tripod. So I actually threw them straps, my tripod in them straps, and was carrying that around in my backpack. So
Moral of the story, don't
Cut up your bag.
don't cut up your bag.
It might come in handy eventually. Yeah.
You might need those.
Because I just told them, just lighten up the pack. If you don't need it, you're just going to be out there for an hour and a half, 2 hours. Just lighten it up. Excuse me. So I was stripping out everything except my fix-it sticks and mags and ammo is, I think, the only thing I had in my pack. And then I had my tripod with my Get Light bag, my Get Light OG sticky, and I think that was it. I think that's all I carried. I didn't carry water because we were only going to be gone for an hour and a half. So I hydrated up and I was going to the bathroom like crazy, waiting, and it's like, all right, let's go. So that's all I carried with me. That's it.
Your triple ball.
Oh, and a bipod. Well, that's on the rifle. Didn't end up needing it, but you never know. because this one we were able to just use the tripod and clamp in, and you were able to see everything. So yeah, it worked out.
The system of it, like when we started, her and I, we didn't have a clue what we were doing. No idea. By the time we got to like stage
3, yeah. Then we finally fell into some type of groove.
Got a rhythm.
Got a rhythm going.
Yeah.
That was nice. That wasn't that stage 3. Was that? Yeah, there was the skunk. Yeah, you had to shoot the skunk and the deer, and it was like, well, where's the deer? Where's the deer?
Oh,
then you went and looked at the skunk, and it was like, oh, it's right behind him.
Yeah.
So then you immediately started panicking, you know.
See, and from my view, it was just one target.
Yeah.
It was a skunk and then the deer. It was all just one target, just meshed together. They were just right on top of each other. But okay, then before we got in your rhythm, how'd stage 1 go? Stage 1 was.
Stage 1 was a cluster, man.
Yeah, we didn't.
I don't remember.
We didn't have a plan.
No, we didn't. And I don't even really remember what stage 1 was now.
So we got up there and we're asking these dumb questions like, when does time start? You know, can we carry this? Can we do this? Can we do that? And I think he just kind of told us where target A, B, and C, and one position, wasn't it?
No, it was 2 different
Was
ones.
it 2 positions?
The only reason I remember that is because the second position, I sat down in a pile of ants, so that was fun.
Yes, I do remember that.
Why was it so full of ants?
Yeah, because I went to pick up my bag and stuff
was
like that,
covered.
just covered in ants.
Yeah.
Really?
I do remember that now.
Yep, 100%.
I don't remember the targets, but I remember the ants.
That's what you remember, the ants.
Yeah. Because I went to pick up my mag block and it was just covered. I was like, what's going on here? Yeah, I do remember that. I don't remember the targets, but I do know.
Wasn't this one where you could get bonus for first impact flapper?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was something with
Yeah.
a flapper. Yep. They had animal targets and it had a flapper on it, and you got bonus points for hitting the flapper.
We timed out on that. We timed out and didn't hit a lot of targets.
Yeah, that was the fastest 7 minutes.
Of my life.
Literally.
What's the joke? See, 7 minutes is a long time.
Yeah, see, right? Right?
So, yeah. That, I don't really remember that one, but I do remember the ants, and we went through, and we did not time out, but apparently we had like 10 seconds left or something like that. So, we get going for that, and the same RO for that was doing 1.
Number 2.
Or yeah, number 2.
Yeah.
So I'm over here trying to go, and he's just like, oh yeah, so we'll just walk over here. I'm like, let's go. Like, even Kenny's up and ready. Like, let's go, you know, like, where am I going? He's like, oh, just down that way. I took off running.
Let's go.
Yeah. He's like, oh. And then he starts coming behind me, and I'm like, okay, where are we going here? And then I get to it, and then Kenny's right there, and we start writing down all the information, because they give you a quick stage brief of, this is the target you're looking for. You know, you're looking for a coyote, then a bobcat, and then you're looking for this and that. So then we get to stage 2, and that's where that 7 minutes went stupid fast for us. Because they had, he gave us a stage brief, and then that's the one where he had those 4 targets right there. Well, it was in
5.
It was in freshly mowed. There were supposed to be 5.
Yeah.
But there was another position be around the tree.
For 5.
Yeah. So then you had to shoot 1 through 4 in position 1. And it was, I think, shooter 1 and then shooter 2, or whatever order it was. Oh, it was shooter 1, that target, shooter 2, that target, then shooter 1, that target, shooter 2, that target, and then shooter 3 was that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it was that order, and then we had all that down. We felt like we were moving and grooving. We go around that tree, Kenny's up, I ranged it, all right, he's gonna shoot, and time. What? Yeah. Like, we both looked at each other, looked at our roll, like, seriously? That went by fast.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
holy cow.
That's what everybody said, is that one went really by. I almost wonder if there was a mistake there of when the 7 minutes started.
Right?
Did the 7 minutes start at the debrief, or did the 7 minutes start on the word go?
Yeah.
Right.
That
It seemed like it started at the debrief.
That was quick.
So everyone we talked
quick.
to said the same thing.
Yeah.
Went way too fast.
Yeah, and then we about timed out on the first one. You guys said you did time out.
We did
on the
time
first
out
one.
on the first
Yeah,
one.
and that was the same RO, so I don't know, miscommunication or, you know, your
Or
theory
we just
or
can't judge 7 minutes.
Yeah.
One of the 2.
something. So, yeah, there's that. But those were easy to spot. So when you guys ran up there, were you looking up or looking down at your feet where you're supposed to go?
Well, our first initial thought, we found the stake where you're supposed to be.
Yep.
But we didn't understand the plane of the stake is, hey,
Where you
it's
should
out
be
this
looking.
way. That's where you need to be looking.
Yep.
So you could have been standing 2 feet to the right or left of that stake and not seen the targets. You know. So,
But I think going for that second stage, we basically said we got up to that first position, got our 4 ranges on those 4 targets, and said, you know, target 5, we'll deal with it if and when it comes.
Yeah.
yeah,
Is what we did.
I don't think.
Well,
we got
and
it.
target 5 was from a different
It
position
was
too.
from a different position.
But the way we did it, as we were running up there, my head was on a swivel looking downrange. Where are these targets? And those
Sure.
ones on stage 2 were easy because those 4 were right along the
much right
creek
there.
and they were
Right.
freshly mowed just right around the target.
Right.
So it's different color. So those were easy, but you know, I did the same thing for all of them. As I'm running up there, or the RO says go, I was head on a swivel as I'm running down this hill or whatever, looking for these targets.
Yeah, that wasn't me. I would have.
And then I'm getting my tripod out, you know, I'm not even looking at it. I'm looking downrange, where are these targets type of deal. That's what I was doing. You guys? Not really?
No, I didn't want to fall and break an ankle.
I mean-
so I was looking where I was stepping.
Yes and no. I mean, where they were standing, where the ROs were standing,
Yeah.
you couldn't really see targets from there
Yep.
when they gave you the debrief, you know?
Yep. Correct.
But as we were on our way down, of course, yeah, you're looking like, okay, so
Yeah.
it's got to be here, got to be here, got to be here.
Yep.
And you don't really know exactly where you're looking until you can kind of start to see that mowed grass where you're supposed to take position.
Yep.
Then, of course, yeah, your head's immediately
Yeah.
all over. But
Yeah. So stage 3 was the one you guys were talking about with that skunk and the deer. What was the first one? Was it like an armadillo and something or another? Or was that a different stage?
That was a different stage.
no, that was
That
the
was the
hog,
last stage. This was it the
warthog or
hog
whatever it
an
was.
actual-
Groundhog or what? Warthog or something.
Warthog, I thought. I don't know.
The one with the tusks, whatever they call it.
Yeah, warthog. But I know that one was position 1. You were shooting this way. Then you had, or no, was shooting away. Then you had to go down by the creek. And then I was looking and looking and it's like, where is this thing? And then I looked down at the stake as Kenny's looking up because we both seen it at the same time. I'm looking at the stake and the stake's kind of pointed that way. And so as I'm looking at it, he's like, oh, they're right there. And I look up where the stake was kind of pointed. And it was just, like I said, just one target. It was the skunk and the deer just stacked on top of each other. I'm like, okay, get set up. I'll range them.
Yeah,
And
I don't think if I wouldn't have remembered that the stake meant something other than what position number it was.
yeah, because we were
I
both
don't
looking
think
at
we
the
would've saw it.
bank and above, and it's like, oh boy.
But it was definitely
Where is
up
this?
and
Right.
kind of over your shoulder a little bit,
Yep.
honestly, when you come down around that bush.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
we both kind of stood there and were like, where are the
Right.
targets? And
Yeah.
then finally I looked down and that's when I realized that they're up
Kenny
behind
was
us.
even expecting, he's like, we can't see these. Are we going to have to get our tripods out full on standing to shoot off our tripods?
Yeah.
Oh.
And then he looked up to the right and oh, there they were. So, and then that was another one where the deer, you had to hit the vitals. And I could not find the vitals. But that was the weird thing. We were trying to account for wind. Apparently all you guys were just fast straight up.
Yeah, we were straight up.
Straight up,
Oh,
maybe favor a little
Favored a little bit left,
and that
but
was pretty much it.
Yeah. No.
other than the vitals, they were big targets. Though.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they aren't not big, but generous. There you go.
You weren't going to miss because of wind today.
Correct.
There was not enough wind to push you off plate.
No.
And I think that's where we went wrong, is we were doing a half mil on some of these targets, and even the RO was like, "You're doing what?"
Oh, really?
So, like, after we got done shooting, and he's like, "I heard you guys say half mil," and everybody else is saying he's straight up, and they've been hitting it. So I was kind of curious to watch you guys do a half mil.
Yeah.
Like, oh, really? Okay. He's like, it just started picking up a little bit, but all right, you guys hit it. Like, that's how favorable these targets were. And then I think it was after stage 3. Is that when you had to go all the way down to
You
that
had to go all the way
shed?
down back to where we finished up.
Oh, that's where we did the tank
Yeah,
trap and
that's
stuff.
where we
Okay.
finished
That's
up
where we
the
finished up the
match from the day before.
Yep.
Series match.
I don't remember. Oh, was that the Coyotes?
No.
I think that was Coyotes, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
Coyotes.
We screwed that one up.
Oh, see, we had that one down.
Oh, yeah, that's the first
Yeah,
thing
we
the
were doing
RO
that.
told me.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, your wife was just here and she got him. I'm like, what?
What, really?
Like, well, we got this, Kenny, and we did not. We dropped
How'd that make you
so
feel then?
many points. I went to range it, got it, range it, got it, range it, got it, and then Kenny said that doesn't sound right, so I rearranged it, and we both ranged it and got the same range. We hit the hill behind it, not the second coyote. So I was dialed like 5.5 mils, and all I heard was a thud. And then Kenny's like, well, hold on. I'm like, yeah, that shouldn't have missed, right? And then I'm like, gosh. I'm looking, I grabbed my Kestrel, I got that, and I'm like, it's the right dope, because I wasn't using my Kestrel, I was just using my binos. And yeah, everything looked good, checked out. So then I sent another thud. I'm like, range it, Kenny. And he ranges it, and he's like, it's something incredibly shorter, like 125, 150 or something like that. And so
You were getting a reading further back. Yep.
so I dialed down real quick, boom, boom, got those impacts, and yeah, that didn't work out.
Yeah, no, that was, I think, did I get 9 on that? You got 8?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, we did pretty good on that one.
Oh yeah, I heard about it.
You heard about it.
Then after that, you went past up to Matt up there.
That's where I left Kenny,
That's where you left Kenny.
because that was our longest hike.
Okay.
Because we had to go from stage 11 from the day before all the way up
All
to
the way
7.
up to- yeah.
Okay.
Is what he said. I'm like, okay. And he's like, it's on the other side of that
That,
Yeah,
clubhouse
it was
shack,
almost,
whatever.
almost where we parked.
Yeah,
Way up there in the parking lot.
yeah. So Kenny just said go, and that's when I went, and it was a long walk. So I was quite a ways ahead. Kenny just kept hollering, I'm good. So I just kept going. I get there, and Shane already told us, you can leave them. So I got up there, got the stage brief. I start writing this thing down.
Kenny gets her, he gets no free.
And well, first let's back up. The RO goes, are you running this solo? I'm like, oh no. I'm out of breath, getting up there. I'm like, oh no, he's down there somewhere. All right, what do we got going on? I got my pen, go. And he's like, well, I gotta wait. And I'm like, no, Shane said it was good. I can leave him. It's fine. He's like, okay. So he started doing the brief. So I got all these notes down, and yeah, then as soon as Kenny comes up, huffing and puffing, sets down his rifle, I said, all right, Kenny, I got it. Put my marker away. And I said, let's go. And he's like, oh God, I just got here. Oh. He picks up his rifle. He's like, where are we going? I'm like, we're going this way. What are we shooting? I'm like, I think that was the Warthog and other stuff.
Yep.
I'm like, we're going this way. And so yeah, or the groundhog, because it was a rabbit, a sitting
No, it was,
groundhog,
Yeah, rabbit sitting groundhog and,
and then the
prairie dog
standing,
or something.
then the
whatever.
standing one.
Yeah.
And Kenny's like, I don't know what we're doing. I'm like, we're looking for a bunny. So as we just talked about, I'm going up this hill, and I'm already scanning. I'm like, you see that big red thing over there?
Yep.
I'm like, all right, there's target one, or a target.
A target.
And then I'm scanning, getting my tripod out, eyes down range, and I see the bunny, and I'm like, okay, the bunny's all shot up right here in the creek. So I'm looking at that, and I'm telling them the shooting order, what we need to do, and who shoots first, all that stuff, as we're scanning. And then I'm like, God, he's kind of like sitting up. Like, is that sitting? Is it standing? So, we can ask yes or no questions.
Yep.
So I said, is that big red thing at the end of the creek target 2? Is that the sitting one? He's like, yes. I'm like, okay, cool. And then I found the bunny right away. So when we had those two, and I told Kenny get set up, and I start scanning, and I'm like, oh, there's the gray one. Okay, yellow clay
It
thrower
was
goes
gray,
straight under.
yeah.
And it's a big gray sitting thing. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So we get on it, and then we rock and rolled it, no problem, and then took off again.
This was the stage that we did so quick, the RO was like, holy moly.
Yeah. We got up there, we figured it out. Like,
We did all the ranges, we got all of our dope, and it was, because I think this was the one where it was like, shooter 1 had to shoot twice, and then shooter 2 had to engage the same target with 2, and then you had to go to the next one and repeat that.
Yep.
And I think he said like we spent maybe a little under 3 minutes gathering, finding the ranges, gathering dope, and then we shot the entire course in like a minute and 15 seconds.
yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
we
less
flew
than that.
through
We flew through it.
So were you guys sharing dope, or did you gather your
We were,
own?
well,
At
we
this point,
still,
we were still kind of gathering our own
Right.
a little bit. But like for me,
I think after that was when we shared.
yeah, like for me,
So-
what I was doing, we had 3 targets, and so I found my first one. I just dialed that right in.
Yep.
I put my second one in my Kestrel, so I could just look down and there's my dope for the second target. And then while he was shooting that second target, I got my third.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't actually write down.
Anything.
I wrote down the shooting order on my card, on my dope card, but
Yep.
kind of gathered dope on the fly.
Yep.
Definitely gathered dope on the fly. But once we got that done, well, let's get done with that stage. Once we got done with that stage, you know, we were exhausted. It was a long walk up there,
Yep.
but we could see. So the whole time you're like, I can hear the other team. They're coming. I can hear them.
Yep.
So they were pushing up our rear. So we immediately pack up and get everything. And I just grabbed
You
your
like
gun.
got a shot of adrenaline or something.
just grabbed
and it was
my
it was
gun, her
gone.
gun. I was packed up and just marching to the next one, carrying all this
Yep.
gear.
Let's
Oh,
go.
yeah.
He's got both guns, his whole pack, his tripod, and here I am with just my pack, my tripod, trying to keep up to the next stage.
That was
we went.
funny. What was the next stage? Stage 6.
That was the left and right, right to left.
Oh, the prairie dogs.
Oh
down
yeah,
the
because we
bottom.
had to hike up to that blue
Big
scissor
scaffolding
lift.
Yeah.
This is- yeah.
That was a long hike also, because you had to go through the parking lot, up the road,
Yep.
and
Yep, through
Yep.
the gate.
yeah, that one
That was
kind of hurt us a little bit, but it sounds like everybody timed out, so it wasn't a big deal. But because I took off and got the stage brief, Kenny didn't hear, and I didn't realize, so it's my fault. I shoot left to right. He shoots right to left. I told him, you are shooting right to left. And I thought I would have communicated, but he didn't understand. So I'm arranging the targets, and then I was just
He
going to
was
reverse
reading them
order.
different. Yeah.
I'm like, okay, it's 62. He's like, no, I got 71. I'm like, well, they're
You
tall
guys got
targets, but I can miss that, you know? So I'm rearranging it, and
Oh, but you're looking at 2 separate targets.
yeah, he's looking at one, I'm looking at the other. And finally, I was getting so paranoid about it. I'm like, RO, is target 2 or target 1 at 62 yards? He's like, I don't know the yardages. I'm like, is target 2 across the creek for me? He says, yes. Is target 3 just in front of the gray one? Yes. Is target 4 the gray one? Yes. Okay. All right, so now I'm on it right, and Kenny's just right now, and I'm just trying to get on the rifle. So I just start shooting, and Kenny's still gathering dope, and he's like, what are you doing? I said, you are shooting it right to left. I have to shoot it left to right. I think I would have relayed that. Maybe I didn't. But it was just, we were very confused. And then I start shooting the last target, and he goes, which one do I shoot? And I'm like, this one. Boom, whap, boom, whap. Start at that one, go right to left, and I'll walk you on them. And so I asked RO, can I get on my rifle? He says yes. I'm like, okay, because one RO said I couldn't be on my rifle.
Yeah, we had the same
that
thing.
too.
Yeah, but then so I asked RO, can I be on my rifle to help him get on targets? Because I was clamped into my tripod. I was rock solid. I'm like, okay, Kenny, you're shooting the one I just hit. Yup, this is your dope. You know, I had the dope, and I just read it in reverse order. All right, Kenny, go left. It's this color. It's facing this way. It's standing. Boom, boom. He hits that one. Then it goes the next one. I just walked him on every single target. And then we go around that tree to shoot that far target. And I said, RO, what's our time? And he says 53 seconds. I'm like, remaining? He's like, yup. And I'm like, ugh. So we hustle around this tree. Well, Kenny has to shoot first.
Yep.
And I'm like, where is this thing? Where is this thing? He's like, it's right here. So he ranges it. He gets set up, sends 2 of them, gets it, and that's all we could get. And it's like, good job, Kenny.
I think we got
good.
all of our shots off. So for this
Yeah,
one,
we got them all off.
for this
Nice.
one, what we did is we didn't exactly get 71 or 60. Maybe you did, but we were pretty much rounding. We said 70, 60, whatever the other 80.
All the same?
other
Yeah.
one.
Well, essentially,
and
we were bouncing from 60 yards to 70 yards.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, is what we did.
And so I took it. He got all set up. I took his Kestrel, and it has the, what did you guys call it?
The range card.
The
Yep.
range card in it. I gave him his ranges while he was shooting. I had my Kestrel right next and was writing down my dope in the opposite order.
Oh, okay.
And so then we got around to the other side and found the bear. I got the bear.
So when did you guys get caught?
last
the
stage.
very last stage.
Last stage, like 2 or 3 targets left.
Yep. And so then we got around to the second position for the bear. I got my 4 shots off. Then there wasn't a ton of time left because we were running his timer.
Yep.
So it talked to us, and you sent 4 shots in like
5 seconds.
It was
4 seconds.
And
I don't
you
know.
that was the one you had your jam.
Yeah, I had a bad jam. We had to like
Really bad.
yank that out. The bullet, the brass was bent.
It like was a rainbow.
Yeah,
Not really, not that drastic.
Yeah, you were really
but
running it, huh?
I was
Oh,
running.
yeah.
Yeah, we were running.
That was the one that you could bam, bam. I mean, he was just throwing that bull.
Well, the time was ticking. It's like, well, once we got on it, time is ticking.
Yeah.
And it was a big target.
You know
it
you're
was
on
like
it.
a rock on the tripod.
Yep.
Boom, boom, boom.
So I think
Like, as I
got it
shot-
all off, but
As I shot before that bullet, you
Oh,
were
yeah.
hearing my action before you were hearing
Yes.
Yep,
the
yep.
impact.
I believe that.
So then we went to the last one, which was a really odd order. Not odd, but confusing.
position 1, shooter
Right.
2, and then you had to go to position 2 and it was shooter 1, and then you had to come back to position 1 and it was shooter 1, and then you went back to and then it was shooter position 2, shooter 2.
Yeah.
Right.
It was a
So you had 2 targets here, 2 targets here. Shooter 1 shot, and then you went over here. Shooter 2 shot.
opposite way. Shooter
2 started, and then I go over here. Shooter 1 started, then I go over here. Shooter 1 shot the same targets he shot, and then shooter 2 came over here and shot those that I just shot
Right.
there.
And that was a hard one because you guys you have to stay together. You know.
Yeah, you had to bring all your gear and you
All
had to
your
stay
gear.
together. You couldn't just like, oh, I'll be over here chilling, waiting for you to finish up, and then I'll send it.
Right.
So I went over there, got the dope, and then got him on, and then as I got his dope, so I just had the Vortex Fury ABs, so I was able to range it, and then he was a little slower than me, so I just added, depending on the distance, a 1/10 to 2 3/10.
And that's what we had.
So
what we ended up doing.
yeah, so that's how we were sharing dope. Is
We didn't even bring 2 kestrels that last one. We just ran yours.
Yeah, the last 2 stages, we just ran mine because
And
of
I
the
knew
range
that
card.
whatever
Yep.
he's at, I was a click higher.
yeah, so I
Yeah.
just had my gun strapped in the tripod, and then we just transitioned our gear and everything back and forth like that.
So did you have the ball head on your tripod then?
Yep, I left
You
it
did.
on there.
You did.
Yep. Kenny convinced me of it. Because typically I just take the ball head off to cut weight and then just put a bag on it. But Kenny convinced me to just clip into it. Yeah. Carrying a 20-pound, 21-pound rifle anyway.
Right.
What's another pound?
Yeah, at that point,
Yeah.
it's another pound.
Yep.
That was a whole new thing for me too. The idea of shooting off the top of a tripod. I've never.
Yeah.
I've
When do
never
I
done
ever
it.
clamp into a tripod?
You
Right.
don't.
Yeah.
I don't. And so that was my tripod specifically was really nice for being able to do that though. It gets down low enough that Michael and I both were able to just get sat right behind it and use our knee as support underneath our elbow, and so we used my tripod quite a bit just because it was short enough or little enough to get to the ground a little bit closer
Yep.
to be in that seated shooting position.
So what happened when you guys did get caught? How'd they stop you or pause or
Yep,
Yeah, he just said time. You gotta stop. Call
like
the time.
as you were shooting?
yep.
Yeah. Well, he was generous enough to let you finish that.
That
It
sequence.
was you that we stopped.
Oh yeah, it was me. He let me
you-
finish the target I was on.
before transitioning to the jack go.
Correct.
Jack
And he said time stops. You got these other guys. You gotta let them come through.
Yep.
And we just set your gear off to the side. Blah blah blah. Stand here. You gotta let this other group go through, and then you can continue. Your time is 3:30 or whatever.
it was.
And when he said that 3:30, it's like, wow, we have a ton of time to shoot 3 targets.
Yeah.
We already know the ranges,
Yeah.
you know. So yeah, we just set our gear off to the side, let the other group
Waited
go,
our turn
and then he let us get back into the position we were originally in.
Oh wow. Okay.
And
And then I heard shoots and impacts on steel when we were coming over the hill, and I hollered at Kenny like, "We can catch them!"
well, and I think I heard
And-
you
Yeah.
because I was shooting and I was like, ah, shit, more people. So those last 2 targets that I had to send 6 rounds on, I bet I sent them in.
No time. No time flat.
Whoever was doing it, you know, when we were coming over, I'm like, "Oh, they're moving."
It was-
I'm like, "Come on,
that's
Kenny, we
the
can
second
catch them."
year.
So I got a little more in my step to get up there, and then I seen orange chassis come running across the line. I'm like, oh, okay, dang it, not the group I was thinking we're catching right now.
You know that.
Yeah.
Gun.
Gosh, dang.
But yes, I must have heard you yell at Kenny, because then I knew that I needed to. You were close enough.
Yeah.
I needed to send those 6 shots pretty quick, which I got them. So.
Oh yeah, you guys were running back and set your gear down by the time I got there, and then Kenny gets there.
I was trying to get ran back to the starting line or whatever to end our time, and the RO kept getting in my way.
Oh, really?
I moved left, he'd move left. I moved right, he'd move right. I want to be like, on the right!
Yeah, that one you had to go back to the starting line to stop your time for the whole series of
The 2 hours or whatever.
yeah, your match time or whatever. And yeah, that was
In 10 miles.
the Hunter match. That was
Yeah.
a blast. And as we said, we'd do it again. And but because we are 9.5 hours away from home, and our ETA was about 12:17 at that time, we decided to leave. And then the match director goes, "Well, what if you win?" I said, "Well, call me." He's like, "Okay." Well, we haven't got a call yet, so.
No, but I did get a text.
Oh yeah, what
So,
the text
yeah,
say?
you and Kenny got first.
Woo!
Anthony and Jake second.
Okay.
Aaron and Alan third. And then Ethan Rierick and Molly got
Wow.
first. So
Oh, and you.
in youth, yep.
Yeah. Because when we left, you calculated the scores for them, and they said we were winning right now, and Molly and Ethan had second.
Okay.
So they must have been
Must have got
teams
knocked out
coming
somewhere,
Yeah.
in and in and in and
Well,
in.
heck, by the time we left, there was still a team
There was
waiting to go out.
Waiting to leave, yeah.
more than one.
More than one?
Oh yeah, because when we got a ride up finally, because you guys left,
Yeah.
as we finished up, and Shane was like, "You guys are done already?" Yeah. And he's like, "Okay," so he took off, and we were waiting and waiting and waiting, and then he finally came back, and we went up. And I said, "Are they waiting to go out?" And he's like, "Yep." And I'm like, "Yeah, we're definitely packing up."
Yeah.
Not that it would take long, but that's, you know, another possible 2 hours.
2 hours further down the road on
Yep.
a 10-11 hour trip.
Yep.
Yeah. Time to go.
Yeah. So we packed up, headed out, and I guess now we got trophies coming to Kenny and I.
I think Kenny will probably pick him up on his way back through.
And those are more sweet looking trophies.
Yeah.
Very, very good looking trophies.
They did a good job with the trophies.
Yeah. So that's awesome. Excited for that. So one weekend, 3 trophies on Saturday, another trophy on Sunday. It's a good weekend. Nice. We'll have to call Kenny. So yeah, good weekend. Definitely do that again. Doing that day 2 Hunter match, you know, kind of a slow start, but we were there, so here we go, type of deal. It was fun. You guys glad we stayed?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
worth
was
it.
fun.
I was excited to hear about how you guys attacked it, being never done anything like that. We told you just gotta go find your target, range it, open it, go.
That's,
And
And then
Even
she's seen something
having
like it.
Right, even having the knowledge of watching you guys do the Vortex Team Sniper Challenge
Mhm.
is still kind of a whole different ballgame when you're in the moment doing it. You
Yeah.
know, so.
oh yeah, it's totally different. You know, and how you
fun.
pack your gear.
Yep.
You know, because you're shuffling.
Where that stuff is at, how
Where
you
it's
get it
at,
out.
you're shuffling around, mag block, where's my other loaded mag?
Yep.
Okay, Kestrel, where do I put stuff to make everything just flow?
Yeah.
Belts of many things.
You know,
Lots of many
it's
things.
just, yeah.
Yeah. Keeping it all organized.
Yep. Yeah, it was a good time.
It was a good match.
Definitely do it again. I wish we had something like that on our side, but because we have so many fields and stuff, I don't know where property would be to hide behind trees and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I think that'd be difficult because where we were, it had a lot of hills and trees and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
it's pretty
So
easy to hide
Easy
them.
to
I was
find them.
head on a swivel looking as we were going to these stages, and I didn't see anything until we got to that dang stake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was good. Even here, when we were finally catching up to a group that happened to be you guys, even then I heard the steel and I was instantly, where are these targets, so I could try to find
I've
them.
never been able to find them.
We'd never seen them.
You couldn't either.
No.
You couldn't.
So
And that's where, you know, if you're on that stage, you got to get right behind that stake
yep.
to make sure, because you're right, you don't know if is there a tree in the way, is there, you know,
Because there was even a time, you know, like, Kenny, can you move your stuff? I need to scoot over here because I can't see him.
Right.
And the same thing is, oh shoot, Kenny, let me get my stuff out of the way. You gotta slide into here.
We run into that a few different times. Oh gosh, I don't remember what stage was it. It was a 12-round
It wasn't
stage.
the deer one up around the corner.
I don't remember which one it was. It was a 12-round stage. Was that towards the end?
No, I'm pretty sure it was the one with the deer around the corner.
Was it with the deer?
Yeah,
So,
because I only brought a 10-round mag for
yeah, she had a 10-round
stage.
mag, and it was a 12-round stage, and she's like, oh shoot. I just grabbed one out of my side,
And
shoved mine in there. And she
Here you go.
Two
Why
impacts.
not?
Two impacts. I was like, well, my ammo worse than your gun. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that did happen. It was just, oh shit. And then Michael saved the day. Just shoved this thing in my gun.
Yeah, and then on that coyote stage, or maybe it was the one before that, the tank trap ones that we didn't shoot off tank traps, that you were hitting targets or something like that, and the RO was like, yeah, she says, good thing he shoots all the time, so I can just take it and it runs. So yeah, he was having a good time. I'm like, did you know it was my wife because of the chassis, or do you know it's my wife because it's my wife? Oh, I know you guys. Cool.
What did he call me? Abigail?
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's alright.
I bet all weekend you were called anything.
The other Nedved, Mrs. Nedved.
Yep.
And then the Pro Series, I was,
Ariana!
Yeah.
From the background.
I think I said my name in the shooter lineup more than the RO did.
No, she just yells her name from the background.
Yep.
Yeah. It was a good time.
It was a good time.
But yeah, now we're headed back, and our ETA is now 12:36 after getting fuel and food. So, a little bit of a trip yet, but we're having a good time. But thanks for listening. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Like, comment if you have any questions or anything like that. We appreciate it, and we'll see you at the range. Thanks, guys.